Welcome back to another Beanie Brigade adventure. This is week 4 versus Icemen. If you missed any of our previous matchups, make sure to check out the playlist on my channel so you can see how we had our best win of the season last game to move us to 3-0 entering week 4. Now let me tell y'all, this game was a feisty one. These guys were certainly talking a lot of trash. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they felt really good about themselves after Zach's strong ass turned it over immediately after the jump ball. But luckily for him, we would end up getting a stop in that first possession, so no harm, no foul. And then on our first real possession, Chad would find me in the post, and I'd get the scoring started by doing my signature up and under, showing the good footwork like my boy, Kamehame Jaquez Jr. Shout out to those of y'all who bet me on FanDuel to get the first basket at plus 15,000. You are now very rich, but you'd be wealthy if you also bet me to get the second basket, because in our next possession, I would nail the corner three, looking like my new guy, I-95, which, if you're not aware, that's the new nickname given to Bobby Portis. So that would put us up 5-0, and then Chad's going to come down the court with a head full of steam. The defender's going to attempt to take a charge, but that's a very stupid thing to do. I mean, the words Chad and charge in the same sentence doesn't even sound like a good idea, because then he's just going to take you to the perimeter where he's absolutely automatic and knocks down this three to put us up 8-0. Mang would get the friendly roll to put us up 10-0, and then Chad would hit the transition pull-up midi to put us up 12-0, forcing Icemen to call the first timeout of the game just 2.5 minutes in. Surely they'd make some sort of adjustment, right?
No.
Yep, that was the buddy who was talking the most shit, so I would grab his brick, dime up Zach to make it 14-0, and then Zach would hit another lay to make it 16-0. And then Kenny nearly brought the house down. We still don't have any dunks this season, so we gotta get one soon. And by we, I mean anybody but me. That's never gonna happen. But here's where things really started to get chippy, as I guess number 2 didn't like Kenny's dunk attempt, so he shoved him into the sideline as if to say, don't ever try dunking on us again. So on the very next possession, Zach's gonna try dunking on them again. He's gonna miss this one. I'm gonna get the putback, but that's gonna put us up 18-0. Ryan is not going to like how mean I'm being to these people, but I'm sorry. They were talking a lot of shit, all right? Shout out to this guy for hitting a tough basket to finally give Icemen their first points 5 minutes into the game. But anyways, you knew we had to bounce back. It would just take us a second because Zach decides to step all the way in bounce, even though I'm right in front of him. But once again, no harm, no foul, because the guy who pushed Kenny would wedgie the ball on a three-pointer, and then Kenny would follow that up by splashing a three of his own. But can the guy who pushed Kenny answer?
No.
All right, well, this game is already over, so let's play another game instead. Comment down below how many more buckets you think we'll get before Iceman scores again. You're all wrong. Cue the run these dudes at the gym montage. And that would put us up, that would put us up 31-2. It's just funny because this number 0 would come down the court, hit this little ugly ass layup, and then he started talking crazy. But next play, Buddy drove baseline. He tried to do the Dr. J layup, was looking more like Dr. XL, Shaquille O'Neal, Nikola Yoke, Chick-fil-A, Zion Williamson, Carl Anthony Pounds. Listen, I hate to be mean to the guy, but just so y'all know how crazy he was talking, at halftime, the ref had to pull aside the guy who pushed Kenny and tell him to tell number 0 to calm down.
Yo, he's like, hey, chill. Hey, the only thing I'm asking you is control your guy. That goes both ways. It goes both ways. It's my team. It's my team. It's my team. It goes both ways. It goes both ways.
He must have said it goes both ways like 4 or 5 times, and I honestly have no idea what he's talking about because we honestly had said nothing back to them at this point in the game. And we're also like the nicest team there. We're so generous, in fact, that Lorenzo literally gave the ball to the ref just so he could get a few shots up. Chad Mitty, Mang 3. At this point in the game, you could see we were really bored and we made the mistake of taking our foot off the gas pedal defensively because all that led to is them talking even more trash and thinking they were much better than they actually were. Now, he's right. Our defense was terrible. But then after I would step out of bounds on the next play, number 2 made sure to let us know what he thought about us, which is very weird considering the scoreboard and all. But I think Kenny put it best when he said, Steph McFlurry for 3.
No.
Then I'm low-key clamping this dude. I'm moving my feet well. He has to push off just to get this little layup. But then he looks at me and tells me that I'm too weak. But you know I had to get his ass right back. And then I kind of chirped a little bit and told him that I didn't even have to push off, which is true. So, of course, then he comes down the court, does another blatant push off, but Chad does a good job to cut him off. Looks like he maybe was going to take a charge, but we all understand that would be a stupid thing to do up nearly 30 points. Ryan's going to get himself a nice looking layup, and I guess he's just so bored at this point, he decides to literally walk out the door mid-game. No, I'm just kidding. He was chasing one of my misses that I bricked so hard it nearly left the gym. So he'd stay in the game, get himself another layup, and then this is where things really took a turn for the worse. Chad would try to take a charge up 30, and I respect the hustle because he did get the call, by the way, but unfortunately, him and number 7 ended up getting hurt. Fortunately, 7 was just a little shaken up, and he was able to walk it off. But Chad did sprain his ankle very bad and would miss the rest of the game. Now, I'm editing this part after we already played week 5. Chad would miss that game, but his ankle is progressing well, so he's hoping he could be back for week 6. Hopefully, he's back soon because on the literal next play, Mang almost got taken out by this ball to the knee. And can you imagine if we had to play a game without Chad and Mang? Zach with the lay. And now Zach for 3. God damn. That boy's a 1-level scorer. They don't make him like that no more.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Pew, 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 pew. This man Kenny was having the time of his life. He's going to hit Ryan with a dime and then wave off his arch nemesis to end the half, where we had a 27-point lead in between number 0 and the injuries. We just wanted to get this game done and over with. And Kenny would make sure that that happened very quickly as he comes out the half and drains a 3 that barely moves the net. Then he's going to dime a cutting Zach who hits the reverse layup. Then has a beautiful give and go to get Ryan a layup. And then has another dime to Ryan. This one was pinpoint perfect in transition. So Ryan has back-to-back nice finishes. He's barely missed today. And knowing his unselfish ass, he probably thinks that he's shooting too much. So he has to dime me up inside. But then Iceman would bank in back-to-back 3s. And I'm only showing you these clips, so when you see that we only won by 38, you can see some of the BS that they had here late in the game. But then Kenny would get his arch nemesis back and get the nice hanging hit to go. But then his arch nemesis would swish a 3 to his credit, and Kenny would swish one right back.
But I'm not done yet. Call right now, and I'll triple the offer.
And Kenny would come down the court and piece up his teammate for the left-handed hook. Then his arch nemesis would answer with another 3.
Way off. It's the side of the backboard.
Then Zach would get this nice block, but Ryan would get pushed down to the ground, which was really their worst mistake because now he was about to hook them. Because Ryan is really death by 1,000 layups, whether it's taking it to the rim or playing the passing lanes and getting one in transition, or finishing with a beautiful jelly reverse, or even catching this great dime from Zach, which now Ryan feels bad because he knows he has to get Zach back, and he does just that, but he smokes the layup. but it's all good because he'll get the next one, and he smokes it again. But that's all right because third time's the charm, and no way he misses. Then he smokes it again. Somebody check his FanDuel account. At this point, we're up almost 40 with just a couple minutes to go, and my guy Lorenzo is still picking up his man full court. That's my guy for real. But before we get out of here, we had to get Zach his redemption. He'd hit the layup, and then he would nail this deep three. I know I called him a one-level scorer earlier, but let my hand show, I never doubted him. Steph Calorie for three.
No.
I'm editing this shit at 4 in the morning right now. I'm exhausted. Anyways, Mang would hit a three. Zach would get another layup. Kenny would get another layup. So you know his arch nemesis had to respond.
Go, team, go.
And then Kenny would block him with just about 30 seconds until mercy rule. Chad's going to tell him to hit a three to get us 100, and I'm going to turn the ball over. But then the ref's going to call it with 1 minute and 46 seconds left. I don't know why. Just let us finish the game out. We haven't been able to finish a game all year. But anyways, we'd come away with a 38-point victory by a final score of 97-59. Shout out to the other team, though. For the most part, they were cool people, except for 1 or 2 of them. I really hope we get to see them in the playoffs because a rematch could be crazy. But this was a fun one. Shout out to Ryan for being our leading scorer in this game. He's the only one of us that doesn't care about his stats, so somebody has to give him some love. But the Beanie Brigade moves to 4-0. We have 4 more regular season games left, plus the playoffs. We actually already played Game 5 last night, so I'll try not to take so long to edit that one, but make sure y'all subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.